If a man starts nagging you during the courting phase, you need to just let him go. It's not going to get better, and you're going to spend the entire relationship having so much resentment towards him and feeling extremely insecure because of the fact that he started the relationship off on such a negative foot. So just save yourself the heartbreak and break up with him at the first sign of nagging.
And they still wonder why men stop dating? This is exactly why. Women who are into you today and then change overnight tomorrow. No explanation, no warning. And on top of that, they tell you that you're the problem. Today we're going to look at women in the middle of a dating crisis, complaining that men don't approach them anymore. But before we get started, hit the like button and leave us a comment. Let's get into it.
My problem is I love people. I feel like everyone has a soul, everyone has a story. I'm big empath. And I think dating nowadays is just minimized to pictures and few different quotes from you. So how can you get to know the person? So I've completely quitted dating apps because I just can't do it anymore. I just can't do it, won't do it. I don't want it. But unfortunately, if you're in a space like LA, you won't be able to get to meet people that often, forced to be on dating apps. And unfortunately, it's the biggest problem ever. At the moment, there is development of dating apps I know of that trying to make you meet. I think the biggest thing is like you don't get that chemistry made up. You need to be outside. You need to meet people on events, on the things you love to do. And that's how you meet people who are actually gonna be matching to you.
3 things that give me the absolute ick. Number 1, when a man tells me, I was going to buy you that, but I didn't. I was going to buy you flowers, but I didn't have time. Don't tell me that you're going to do something and then don't do it. Number 2, when a man tells you how much money he has within the first 5 minutes of a date, when he says, I have all these houses, I have all this money, my parents have this house in this country. What are you trying to overcompensate for? Do you have a personality you would like to tell me about first, or do you want to talk about how many APs you have? Thirdly, when a man is late. Punctuality, my dad always told me, is a choice. You're never late to an exam, you're never late to a flight. So why are you late for a date? It's a choice. And when lateness becomes a choice, it's unattractive when someone doesn't prioritize you and your time.
I genuinely think dating in the UK is completely broken. And before you say, oh, you just haven't met your person, that's exactly my point. People aren't dating anymore. I swear they just collect them. Like, you've got one guy on Hinge, you've got 3 on Snapchat, 2 you've got past experiences with. Like, you can have an amazing date. They'll be like, I can't wait to see you again. And then they'll give you horrendous replies for the next 48 hours. Like, they're speaking to 46 other people. And the worst part is, people act like caring is embarrassing now. You can't double text, you can't admit you like someone. It's like we're all CEOs, we've not all got board meetings at 9 p.m. If I like someone, I like them. If I want to text them, I'll text them. Like, why are we acting so nonchalant, or whatever the word is? I'm genuinely convinced that dating apps have ruined it because they just think if the moment something goes wrong, they're like, straight back to the drawing board, like someone's going to be better one swipe away. And it's just created this illusion that there's always, like, the grass is greener on the other side, rather than just taking the time to do things normally. And then everyone wonders why they're single. Dating shouldn't feel like you're applying to a job and you're fighting against 20 other candidates. Anyway, I just think 2026 dating is just...
Stop it. Get some help.
Dating apps are exactly that. An endless catalog where nobody gives anyone real attention because there's always another option just one swipe away. If a woman already has trouble deciding which restaurant she wants you to take her to, how is she supposed to choose from hundreds of men pretending to be something they're not? She can't, and she won't choose well. On top of that, the top 20% of men get all the success. For that 20%, it's like being turned loose in an ice cream shop. They get to sample every flavor as many times as they want. That's what really bothers women, even though none of them will admit it openly. They're not mad at the app. They're mad because they're all chasing the same Chad, and Chad isn't choosing them.
And you gotta play hard to get because men love the chase. They actually don't anymore. Okay? They are not fucking with the chase anymore. Let me tell you. Ladies, it has changed. Okay? And look, I'm not actually unhappy about all of it. It's been ingrained in us as young women that not to be too easy, right? And that men love the chase and that they're only going to want you if you don't want them. And you got to play hard to get, right? And I've always thought it was bullshit, honestly. I don't want to. That takes too much work, you know? But now it's gone too far the other way, where they want us to literally do all the work instead. It is unfortunate that both men and women are getting fed horrible advice, horrible information from both sides. That's really honestly pitting us against each other. Let's just literally treat both men and women the same, like how we want to be treated, equally, and I think we'll be good, right? People inflate this idea of like men and women are so different to be really something that it's not. Both men and women don't want people who cheat. We both don't want to do all of the work, right? It has to be 50-50 at least when it comes to effort. We both don't want to have to play hard to get. We both don't want people who gaslight us. Like, it's simple things. And I feel like this red pill and then a lot of the misandrist, you know, stuff that women are getting shoved down their throats on TikTok that you might not even notice, but is subconsciously, you know, leaking in. I think people aren't realizing how much that can actually affect. And then not only that, but how wrong it actually is.
It's funny because it's true.
Men are choosing the path of peace. They're no longer chasing, no longer desperate, no longer begging for attention. They'd rather invest in their bodies, their money, and their peace of mind. And they're absolutely right. Because with all the games, the filters, and the impossible standards, you accomplish something no men's self-help campaign could have achieved on its own. You convinced men that they're better off alone. Modern feminism didn't empower women. It taught men that they can have an excellent life without one. And the worst part for them is that it's true. Men are doing better across the board, more focused, freer, and more at peace. Most importantly, nobody can take away what they've worked so hard to build. You wanted men to chase less. Mission accomplished.
Women.
The number one thing that confuses me about dating right now is that it feels like a lot of guys like me, but they don't want me. Like, they're physically attracted to me, they might like talking to me, they like all my stories and everything on Instagram, they might send me a DM every so often, but no one wants to actually make an effort to create something substantial with me. No one wants to make any sort of commitment, no one wants to plan dates, and I feel like I'm in such a weird period. Sorry, there were people, but it just feels like I'm in a weird holding period with a lot of these guys who are definitely breadcrumbing me, stringing me along, making me think that they're eventually going to make an effort. I just have to give it time and I can't rush anything. There was one certain guy that we had been on 2 dates, they went really well, we were talking, we were FaceTiming, and I tried to plan a third because he hadn't yet, and it had been 2 weeks since we had seen each other. So I tried to plan a third, and he told me that he thought I was forcing it, and he was like, it'll just happen, let it happen, like when we can see each other. I'm like, plans just don't happen out of thin air. Someone has to plan it, and clearly you're not. So I was told I was forcing it. So I don't know, it's very confusing to be liked by many but wanted by none, and it's kind of sad.
Something I don't think enough people realize is that if you are single and you are content with your life, that actually makes dating exponentially harder. Like, yes, I know dating is optional, but I would like a husband, and unfortunately that does require me going on dates. But like, I've kind of hit a point where I am just like content with the people and the things that I have in my life, that asking me to go on a date feels like pulling teeth. Because that means my choices are to either spend time by myself, which I enjoy, to hang out with the friends or family that I love, probably doing something fun, or to hang out with a random that I may or may not hate by the end of it. Like, I feel like it makes it hard for me to want to do that.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Our generation has become so sick. We have turned the most beautiful thing, finding a partner, into something so ugly that we now think you can form a deep, genuine connection with anyone. There are billions of people in this world. You can always find someone hotter, smarter, richer, better body, taller, more fit, whatever you're looking for, younger. But you know what you're not going to find? You're not going to find that connection that you built with someone special. You're not going to find that in everyone. And that's what we are taking for granted in today's dating world. Just because you see a hotter person pop up on your screen. Building a connection is saying, hey, I love what I have with this person. I'm going to make it work. And I don't care who comes by, they're not going to interrupt this bond. Because this bond is special and bonds cannot be replaced. So yes, you can replace the physical body. You can replace something better looking, but you cannot replace the soul connection that you have. And some of you need to just sleep on that. That's all.
Thousands of options, and they still can't get it right. That's exactly what happens when the market is inflated and the radar is broken. Today's man is focused. He's in the gym, building his wealth, and comfortable with his own company. Meanwhile, women watch time pass, waiting for someone else to make the effort they were never willing to make first. You set conditions from day one, demand impossible standards, make no real effort to get to know him, yet expect instant commitment. And then you're surprised you end up alone? The prediction keeps coming true. 45% of women over 30 will be single by 2030. It's not some random statistic. It's the direct consequence of years of making bad choices, expecting too much, and betting that time is on their side.
One of the biggest issues I see in dating today as a therapist and coach is people have fully convinced themselves that they have way more options than they actually do. Because of social media and because of all the dating apps, people are fully convinced that there's always someone better out there for them one swipe away. And what happens then? Every time something feels imperfect, people walk away. Every time something feels like it requires too much effort, people pull away. And every time something requires you to be uncomfortable, people decide that there must be something better or easier out there for them. And here's the harsh truth. Attention is not an option. People in your DMs, not options. People who are liking your story, they're not options either. A real option is someone who is consistent, emotionally available, aligned with your values, and willing to build with you. And those people are rarer than you actually think.
The reason dating apps don't work is the same reason people end up falling for their coworker after a couple years. Like, this shirt is obviously very funny, but in a way, it's incorrect. Your coworker is hot precisely because you're within 10 feet of him for 40 hours a week. This is well established in research, by the way. It's called the mere exposure effect. It's why they can get you to like a song by playing it over and over and over, and it's also why you're more likely to buy something from a targeted advertisement the 20th time you see it rather than the first time. Advertisers literally have metrics for how long it takes you to warm up to a product, so why would people be any different? Well, it turns out they're not. Dating apps kind of feel like they're filled with meh people because it's effectively asking you to decide immediately whether or not you swipe left or right. And even if you do go on a date with that person, it's unlikely you're ever going to organically run into them again, so it's another binary choice. That's just not how humans, especially women, honestly, work. We require momentum. We need to notice the person the first time that we're at Run Club together. Then maybe we learn their name the second time we go. Maybe the third time you're at Run Club, you notice them do something nice for someone or they crack a joke, so you start paying attention to them a bit more. And over time, that momentum builds with just how people end up liking each other. Dating apps systematically prevent this from happening. In my opinion, they do that on purpose, but you can call me crazy if you want.
Women confuse attention with intention. Just because a guy messages them on Instagram doesn't mean he's looking for something real. It means he's looking for something quick. And many of those guys are the very same chads who end up ignoring them later or just have their fun and disappear. But the problem goes even deeper. Dating apps gave them an endless catalog, and now their radar is broken. The average guy is right there, consistent, genuine, and willing to build something real, but she dismisses him in 2 seconds because he doesn't have the jawline of Tinder Chad. She'd rather keep swiping, keep waiting, and keep feeding the illusion that the perfect man is just one match away. The real man is already part of her everyday life. He always has been. She just never looked up from the screen long enough to notice him. We've reached the end of the video. But before you go, here are 2 questions for you. Did dating apps ruin the dating game for everyone? Or did they simply expose what was already broken? When did you decide to focus on yourself and stop chasing women? If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Your support means a lot to us and motivates us to keep creating more content. Stay tuned for the next video from the wall.